What's good, everyone? Jets take off. The Jets are playing great football this season. They have a top 10 defense. That's undeniable. But the offense, it can get better. And there are some things that the New York Jets can do. And I'm going to list 3 things that the Jets can do to improve this offense and improve our odds at making the playoffs. The first thing we can do to improve the offense is utilizing the tight ends more in the passing offense. Listen, that was one of the big storylines for the Jets as we signed 2 tight ends, 2 sizable contracts in free agency. And so far, the production has been very disappointing from both, I'd say. CJ Uzomah especially with 10 catches all year. And he's played every single game, 10 catches all year, 82 yards. I think we could do a little bit better. Tyler Conklin does have 33 catches for over 300 yards, which is good, but we still need to involve them a little bit more in this passing game. I feel like they don't necessarily get the attention that they should be, because I know we have good wide receivers on the outside, right? But our tight ends should be capable of getting open and finding soft spots in zone coverage. So one way we can kind of utilize the tight ends a little bit more, I think, is by calling plays under center, where Zach is under center. Because what does this do? It really sets up the threat of a play action pass. We see it a lot with other teams where tight ends will block and then they'll slowly release and get open that way. I think that's one way how we can kind of design and scheme some of these tight ends open a lot more. And because the Jets are really good at running the football, right? We're great at running the football. If we have Zach lined up under center, it might be a little bit more of a factor to get these linebacker types to go bite on the run. And then that would create the tight ends a lot of space to get open and do whatever. We see it a lot. I think we really just should run under center a lot more anyways, just so that the threat of the run game is really serious. And if we do establish that, the play action will be set up perfectly, and we could take some deep shots, not necessarily just to the tight ends only. We could take some deep shots and also throw the ball to the tight end. So I think Zach being under center and then having our tight ends in either 2 tight end formation, 12 personnel, I think that would be a great way to get us more involved. And the tight ends that we paid a good amount of money to go get in Tyler Conklin and CJ Uzomah. One more thing about the tight ends, I think when it's goal line and red zone situations, the tight ends should be in the football game. I don't know if it's just me, but I notice us running a lot of shotgun with 2 wide receivers on the field. I'm not really a fan of that. I think we should have both tight ends on the field and have 2 wide receivers so that the tight ends can really get involved, especially in goal line situations. That is key. They need to be in. When the Jets are inside the 5 or less, we need to put the tight ends in the game, because that is when they are really going to be a threat, especially CJ Uzomah, who's a little bit of a bigger tight end than Conklin. And that's where the mismatch really happens in the end zone. I feel like a lot of other teams have a ton of success getting the ball to the tight ends in these red zone and goal line type situations, and I think the Jets should try and replicate that same type of success. The second thing the Jets can do to improve the offense is target Elijah Moore. I mean, we didn't trade him for a reason. It seems like we have plans to use him, but then each and every week, he just doesn't get any action. I feel like at this point, he's more of a decoy, and he is setting up Garrett Wilson to get open. How about we flip it around for once? How about Elijah Moore is the focus? How about Garrett Wilson's the one setting up Elijah Moore to go get open? Because Elijah Moore is ultra talented. He can create a ton of separation. He's a dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hands. But we just haven't been able to get the ball in his hands. And I made a whole separate video talking about this. But I think we should use Elijah Moore maybe a little bit more in the backfield. That's what they did at Ole Miss. Worst case scenario, a linebacker is mismatched on him. If it's a passing play, Elijah Moore will get open. Some screen plays, why not? If we give Barrios some screen plays, why not Elijah Moore? He's smaller, he's perfect for these screen plays. He's very fast with the ball in his hands, he's a playmaker. I think we really need to feed Elijah Moore, and making him the primary read is how we're going to do that. So, I'm all for getting Garrett Wilson his touches. He is a stud. He's the best wide receiver by far on the team. But Elijah Moore still is ultra talented. And he's being used more as a decoy instead of being the actual primary target, or where the play is designed to go. Let's start scheming Elijah Moore open. Let's do it, Mike LaFleur. It's really going to open up this offense more when teams can start actually worrying about Elijah Moore once they realize, oh hey, the Jets will give him the football. Now the last thing the Jets can do to improve the offense is getting Zach Wilson on the move a little bit more. Let's take some notes from Chicago. What has Chicago started to do a lot more recently? Utilize Justin Fields' speed and athleticism. Zach Wilson's no Justin Fields, but he is an athletic quarterback. He can move in the pocket, but I think what we should do is start calling some more play action passes. Let's start calling some rollouts, some bootlegs. Let's get Zach on the run, because I feel like that's when he's really on his game, is when he's kind of improvising. Even though that's not really improvising, it has that type of feel to it, where the quarterback's on the move. Zach Wilson he's shown that he's accurate while throwing on the move, so I think that's a great way. Also get the tight ends utilized, especially on bootlegs and rollouts. That's a phenomenal way, so that's kind of tying the two ways to improve this offense together. And once we start calling these bootlegs and rollouts, if there's nothing there, Zach Wilson can just run. He can run, that's the point. To get him already moving, he's an athletic quarterback, so if nothing's there, he could gain, a worst case scenario, 3 yards on a dead play just by running, because he's already in motion, instead of having him confined within the pocket and then him trying to escape, and that whole disaster that happens most often than not. But we could also change the launch point. As soon as Zach gets the snap, let's have the offensive line rolling to the right side. Other teams like to do this, and Mike LaFleur can get a little bit tricky since we're changing the launch point. Teams will play the boundaries. How about we go target the other side of the field? I think Mike LaFleur has the niche for wanting to call these trick plays. Well, changing the launch point could be a very good way, also starting to incorporate some more trick plays and thus some explosive plays. So those are the 3 ways I think the Jets can get this offense even better, because this Jets team is already really good right now. But if the offense can improve even more, this is a deadly team. That team will be scared to face. So let me know what you think about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all and any of them. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.